Hi, and welcome to Cloudbound. This is a place to relax, feel calm, and get ready for sleep. I'm Donnie, and I'll be with you tonight. Thanks for joining me. Tonight's story is a gentle one, perfect to help you wind down. So get comfy in bed, take a deep breath, and let your body start to relax. Whatever kind of day you had, it's over now. There's nothing more you need to do. Just let your thoughts slow down, feel the quiet around you, and know it's okay to fall asleep anytime. In tonight's story, you'll become a traveler who wakes up with no memories in a strange crystal city called Memora, where memories are traded like money. With only odd and glimmering memory crystals as clues, you'll search for who you are and uncover a secret that could open the way to another world. Now, let your mind wander to Memora, where your story is waiting to be found. You woke up on soft grass with no idea how you got there. The sky was just starting to get light. You were lying on the ground with tiny drops of dew on the grass around you. It felt cold and wet. Your hands were a little scraped. Your backpack was next to you, and your boots were dusty with red dirt. But there were no footprints, no path, no train nearby, just you, the grass, and a strange feeling in your chest, like something was missing. You stood up slowly. Your head felt heavy, like it was full of fog. Then far away, you heard bells, soft and slow, like they were calling to you. You followed the sound through the trees until you saw something shining in the distance. A city, tall and sparkling, with towers made of crystal. Now, morning sunlight filters through those towers, casting rainbow patterns across cobblestone streets. You sit on a wooden park bench, watching locals exchange tiny glowing gems at market stalls instead of money. Your head throbs with emptiness where memories should be. Only your backpack and foreign clothes suggest you came from somewhere else, somewhere forgotten. The air here smells different from anywhere you can remember, which isn't saying much. It carries the scent of cinnamon mixed with something electric, like the air after lightning strikes. When you breathe deeply, your lungs fill with cool, sweet air that tingles slightly. The city of Memora spreads out before you in all directions. Unlike cities made of concrete and steel, this place is built from crystal and stone. Tall buildings rise like carefully cut gemstones, their surfaces catching sunlight and breaking it into thousands of colors. Some are blue as deep ocean water, others pink like sunset clouds. When the breeze blows, the buildings make soft musical sounds, as if the whole city is quietly humming. People walk past, wearing clothes in bright colors, ruby red scarves, emerald green coats, and sapphire blue boots. Nobody looks at you directly, but you notice quick glances at your plain brown jacket and hiking boots caked with red dirt. Your clothes mark you as a stranger here. Your stomach growls. You haven't eaten since, well, you can't remember when. You reach into your pocket and find only unfamiliar coins with pictures of mountains and trees. When you tried to use them at a food stall earlier, the woman just shook her head and pointed to her temple, then held out her palm expecting something that wasn't money. The market across the square buzzes with morning activity. A man with silver hair hands a small, glowing purple gem to a fruit seller, who examines it closely, holding it up to the light. The gem flashes briefly, and the fruit seller nods, handing over a bag of round, orange fruits. No money changes hands, just these strange, glowing stones. You touch your own temple, wondering what happened to your memories. There are holes where important things should be. You remember how to speak, how to tie your shoes, what apples taste like. But you don't remember your family, where you come from, or how you arrived in this strange city. It's like trying to read a book with most of the pages torn out. The bench beneath you is cool and smooth. You run your fingers along its surface, feeling spiral patterns carved into the wood. Next to you sits your backpack, dusty, well-worn, and definitely not from this world of crystals and memory gems. Inside are a water bottle, a compass that spins wildly, unable to find north, a notebook with blank pages, and a small flashlight that still works. As the morning grows warmer, the city becomes even more alive. Children run past, laughing and holding tiny gems that glow so faintly you can barely see them. An old woman sweeps the steps of a building shaped like a seashell, humming a tune you almost recognize. The smell of baking bread drifts from somewhere nearby, making your stomach growl again. You decide to explore, shouldering your backpack and following your nose toward the bread smell. The cobblestones under your feet are polished smooth by countless steps. Some have tiny crystals embedded in them that sparkle as you walk. The streets don't run straight like the cities you vaguely remember. Instead, they curve and wind like rivers, leading you deeper into this strange crystal world. At a corner where two streets meet, you find a fountain made of clear crystal. Water bubbles up from its center, cascading down in sheets that catch the light. People gather around it, dipping their hands in the water or sitting on its edge. Some hold small glass vials, collecting drops of the fountain water. You notice how the water makes the colors of their memory gems brighter, more alive. A young boy drops his gem into the fountain by accident. He cries out in alarm, but before anyone can help, the gem dissolves into the water, turning it briefly purple. The boy's face transforms with wonder as the fountain water forms a moving picture, showing a puppy playing in a garden. The image lasts only seconds before fading away. The boy looks sad, but not surprised, as if he knew this would happen when his gem touched the water. You approach the fountain cautiously. Your reflection shows a face you barely recognize. Brown hair, tired eyes, a small scar above your right eyebrow. When did you get that scar? The question hangs in your mind. Another missing piece. You dip your fingers into the cool water, half expecting something magical to happen. But it's just water to you. As morning shifts toward midday, the rainbow patterns on the street grow brighter. You find a small bakery with crystal wind chimes hanging in the doorway. The baker looks at you curiously when you enter, perhaps noticing your foreign clothes or the confused look on your face. The smell of fresh bread is overwhelming, making your mouth water and your stomach complain loudly. You point to a round loaf with seeds on top. Then hold out your useless coins. The baker shakes her head, just like the fruit seller did. She taps her temple again, then makes a gesture like she's pulling something from her mind. You don't understand. You have no gems to give her, no memories to trade. Just as you're about to leave hungry, your hand brushes against something in your jacket pocket. It's small and warm to the touch. You pull it out and find a tiny crystal, glowing faintly blue. You don't remember putting it there or where it came from. When you hold it up to the light, the baker's eyes widen. She takes it gently, holds it to her forehead for a moment. The gem flashes brightly, and her face softens. "Snow," she says, the first word anyone has spoken directly to you since you arrived. Cold and beautiful, from far away. She hands you not one, but 2 loaves of bread, and points to a chair in the corner where you can sit and eat. As you bite into the warm bread, the flavor is unlike anything you remember. Honey and nuts and something else you can't name. It fills your belly and clears your mind a little. You wonder about the blue gem. Was it a memory? Your memory? And if so, what else might be hiding in your mind, waiting to crystallize into something valuable in this world where memories are money? Outside the bakery window, people continue their day, exchanging gems, sharing moments of their lives like currency. You have found yourself in a miraculous world where the things most people take for granted, memories, experiences, moments of wonder or love, are the most valuable possessions of all. How strange that you, with so few memories left, might still have something worth trading. Night will come soon to Memora. The crystal spires already catch the changing light, shifting from bright rainbow colors to deeper blues and purples. You have bread. You have discovered you possess at least one memory gem, and you have found a city unlike any other. For now, that will have to be enough. You wake up as morning light creeps under the stone bridge. The space is just tall enough for you to sit up without bumping your head. This has been your bedroom for 3 nights now. The worn blanket from your backpack spread over cold cobblestones. Your jacket folded into a makeshift pillow. Your stomach growls. The bread from yesterday is gone. You reach for your backpack, feeling the rough canvas texture beneath your fingertips. Inside are all your worldly possessions. You pull out your passport first. The blue cover is scuffed at the corners, and the gold letters have mostly rubbed away. When you open it, your own face stares back at you, a stranger with your eyes. The country listed is one you can't remember visiting. Next come your hiking boots. They're sturdy but worn, the soles still caked with reddish soil that doesn't match the gray stone of Memora. You scrape some off with your fingernail. It smells like pine trees and something metallic. When you close your eyes and breathe in this scent, your mind almost catches something. A forest path, mountains in the distance, but then it slips away like water through your fingers. The journal is the strangest thing. It's bound in brown leather with your initials pressed into the cover. But when you open it, every page is blank, not a single word or drawing. Did you buy it new just before arriving here? Or did whatever took your memories also wipe this book clean? You run your fingers over the empty pages, feeling tiny indentations where a pen once pressed. Someone wrote in this book once. Maybe you. As you put these things back in your backpack, your hand brushes against something cool and smooth. You pull out 3 small gems, each no bigger than a marble. They glow softly in your palm. One blue like deep water, one amber like honey in sunlight, and one violet like twilight. These are your memories, formed while you slept. The first night it happened, you almost threw the blue gem away, thinking it was some strange insect or glowing pebble that had somehow gotten into your makeshift bed. But something made you keep it. Each morning since, you found another, always resting on the ground where your head had been. You hold the blue one up to the light, filtering under the bridge. Unlike the memory gems the locals trade, which glow steadily, yours pulses gently, like a tiny heartbeat. When you look closely, you can see something moving inside. Snow falling on mountains you don't remember climbing. Your stomach growls again, louder this time. You haven't eaten in almost a day. The locals won't take your strange coins, and you've been afraid to trade your memory gems. What if they contain clues to who you are? What if selling them means those fragments of yourself are gone forever? But hunger is a demanding teacher. You carefully wrap the 3 gems in your cleanest sock and tuck them into your shirt pocket. Today, you decide you will try to trade just one. You crawl out from under the bridge, your joints stiff from the hard ground. The canal below reflects the morning sky, turning from purple to blue. Ducks paddle past, unbothered by your presence. You splash cold water on your face, trying to look presentable. Your reflection shows dark circles under your eyes and several days of stubble on your chin. The memory market is just waking up as you arrive. Vendors set up tables under colorful awnings, arranging their gems in velvet-lined display cases. You watch how carefully they handle each one, as if they're holding someone's heart. In a way, you suppose they are. An old woman arranges breakfast memory gems in her stall. The taste of fresh berries, the smell of coffee brewing, the feeling of warm bread straight from the oven. A customer hands over a small gray gem and receives one that glows soft orange in return. For a few seconds, she's experiencing someone else's perfect breakfast. Your own hunger twists sharper. You approach a fruit seller whose table is piled with strange round fruits that look like purple apples. They smell sweet and slightly spicy. The seller eyes your foreign clothes with suspicion as you reach into your pocket. Your fingers close around the amber gem, the smallest of your 3. When you place it on his table, his eyes widen. He picks it up with trembling fingers and holds it to the light. Inside, golden sunlight filters through autumn leaves. His expression softens as he examines it. He says something you don't understand, but his tone is questioning. You tap your stomach and point to the fruit. He nods and gestures for you to take 3 of the purple apples. Then he adds a small loaf of bread and 2 pieces of white cheese. For one small memory. You bite into the fruit immediately. It tastes like a mixture of apple and cinnamon with something else you can't name. Juice runs down your chin. For a moment, nothing matters except this sweetness filling your empty stomach. But as you walk away, eating the unexpected feast, you feel a strange emptiness that has nothing to do with hunger. You search your mind for the memory that was in the amber gem. There was something about autumn leaves, sunlight, but you can't quite grasp it anymore. The memory is gone, sold for breakfast. That night, you find a new sleeping spot under a different bridge, farther from the market. You spread your blanket more carefully this time, trying to create something that feels a little more like home. From your pocket, you take the 2 remaining gems, blue and violet, and set them carefully beside your makeshift pillow. In the violet one, you can see a storm over an ocean. Sometimes, if you look at it long enough, you catch a glimpse of a boat and people moving on its deck. Are they people you know? Is that your home? The gem offers no answers, just fragments of a life you can't remember. As you drift towards sleep, you wonder about the people in your forgotten life. Do they miss you? Are they looking for you? Or have they forgotten you just as thoroughly as you've forgotten them? In the darkness, before sleep takes you, you feel something warm form beside your head. You open your eyes to find a new gem, this one green as spring leaves, already taking shape from tonight's dreams. You watch it solidify, growing brighter as it draws memories from your sleeping mind. The thought comes to you then, clear and troubling. Each gem you sell is a piece of yourself that might never return. But keeping them doesn't bring the memories back either. They sit there, glowing with moments you can't access, tantalizing you with pieces of your own past. You fall asleep with your hand curled around the blue gem, its cool surface warming against your palm. Tomorrow you might have to sell another piece of yourself just to survive. But tonight, at least, you can hold on to these fragments of who you once were, these glowing pieces of a puzzle you can't solve. As you drift into dreams, you wonder what memory will crystallize by morning, and whether it might finally be the one that tells you how to find your way home, or whether home is something you've lost forever, traded away gem by gem in this city where memories are currency, and you're becoming emptier with each transaction. The memory market buzzes with activity across its tiered plazas. In Nostalgia Row, elderly vendors sell childhood moments. The Emotion Quarter features love memories in rose-tinted crystals, while the Adventure Arcade displays gems of daring exploits. You wander through each section, noticing how merchants examine your foreign clothes with curiosity. One wizened appraiser keeps watching you from beneath a canopy of shimmering fabrics. Why does she seem to recognize something about you? You pull your jacket tighter around your shoulders. After 3 days of sleeping under bridges, it smells of canal water and stone dust. The morning air feels crisp against your face as you move through the crowded marketplace, your stomach no longer aching thanks to the purple fruit and bread you traded for yesterday. The memory market isn't just one place. It's like a town inside the city, built on 5 circular platforms connected by spiral staircases. From above, it probably looks like a giant snail shell. Each level specializes in different types of memories, and the higher you climb, the more valuable they become. You start at the bottom level, where everyday memories are traded. A child with tangled hair offers a small white gem to a baker, It shows the memory of finding a lost toy under a bed. Nothing special to most people, but the baker smiles and gives the child a warm pastry in exchange. The pastry leaves flaky crumbs on the child's shirt as she skips away. You can smell cinnamon and sugar from where you stand. On Nostalgia Row, the second level, old people sit on cushioned stools behind tables covered with blue velvet. Their gems shine with the soft glow of childhood moments. First steps, favorite toys, birthday candles being blown out. A man with hands spotted by age holds up a gem that shows children playing in leaves that crunch under their feet. The gems glow in all the colors of sunset: pink, orange, red, and gold. Love memories are kept in special glass cases that magnify their light. You see a woman in a silver dress purchase a bright pink gem. When she holds it to her heart instead of her head, tears fill her eyes, but she's smiling. The gem shows two people dancing in rain that sparkles like diamonds. Your hand touches your shirt pocket, feeling the small bump where your own memory gems rest. Are any of them love memories? Would you know it if they were? The fourth level makes your heart beat faster. The Adventure Arcade is filled with gems that pulse with energy, moments of discovery, danger, and triumph. They're displayed on rotating platforms under glass domes, each one shining like a tiny star. One shows someone climbing an impossibly tall mountain with clouds below them. Another captures the moment of discovering ancient ruins hidden in jungle vines. A third, the brightest of all, shows a person standing at the edge of a waterfall, arms outstretched, about to jump. People crowd around these displays, their faces lit by the glow of adventures they might never have themselves. A merchant with a scar across one eyebrow sells a green gem to a man in fancy clothes. The gem shows the memory of sailing through a storm, waves tall as buildings crashing over a wooden ship. The buyer's hands shake with excitement as he passes over 3 smaller gems in payment. You're so distracted by the display that you bump into someone, a girl carrying a tray of polished cloths for cleaning memory gems. The cloths scatter across the floor. You kneel to help gather them, noticing how they shimmer with special oils. The girl doesn't say anything, but when your eyes meet, something passes between you. Recognition, maybe, but how could she know you when you don't even know yourself? Before you can speak, she disappears into the crowd, leaving you holding one cloth she forgot. It feels silky between your fingers and smells faintly of lemons and something else. Something that makes your head tingle. The highest level of the market is smaller than the others and less crowded. This is where the rarest memories are sold. The gems here are kept in locked cases with guards standing nearby. You can't even get close enough to see what's in them. A woman with jewels in her hair passes a small key to a guard, who unlocks a case and removes a memory gem that glows with such pure white light that it's almost painful to look at. What memory could be worth so much protection? As you turn to leave, you feel eyes on you again. Across the platform stands the wizened appraiser you noticed earlier, She sits beneath a canopy made of fabric that shifts colors like a soap bubble. Unlike the other merchants who display their wares proudly, her table holds only a single silver bowl filled with clear water. Her eyes are cloudy with age, but somehow they follow you perfectly. One finger, bent with arthritis, beckons you closer. You hesitate, feeling the weight of your memory gems in your pocket. Something about her makes you uneasy, but also curious. You approach slowly. Up close, you can see that her face is marked with tiny lines, like a map of a place with many rivers. Her hair is white as cloud and twisted into a knot held by wooden pins. A small gem hangs from a chain around her neck. But unlike the bright colors in the market, hers is clear as glass, with just a hint of blue, like water from a deep well. She says nothing as you stand before her table. Instead, she points to the bowl of water, then holds out her hand. You understand, she wants to see your memories. Your fingers close protectively around the gems in your pocket. These might be your only clue to who you are. But something in her cloudy eyes makes you trust her, just a little. You place the violet gem, the one with the storm and the boat, on her palm. Her fingers close around it gently, as if holding a butterfly. Then she drops it into the silver bowl. The water ripples, and suddenly above the bowl appears an image, much clearer than what you could see inside the gem. A ship rocks on angry waves beneath black storm clouds. Rain lashes the deck where people rush back and forth, securing ropes. And there, at the wheel, stands you. Your hair is plastered to your forehead, but you're smiling, steering the ship through the tempest with confidence. You look different, younger, perhaps, or just happier. You look like someone who knows exactly who he is. The old woman studies your face as you watch the memory play out. Her eyes narrow slightly. She reaches across the table and touches your forehead with one dry finger. The touch is light as a leaf falling, but it sends warmth spreading through your head. She retrieves the gem from the water and places it back in your palm, curling your fingers over it. Then she makes a shooing motion. She doesn't want payment. She doesn't want to buy your memories. She just wanted to see, to confirm something. As you turn to leave, puzzled by the encounter, she speaks the only words you'll hear from her. Words in a language you shouldn't understand, but somehow do. Ocean child, find your sea. You descend the spiral staircases of the memory market, moving from rare treasures back to everyday moments. The words echo in your mind. Ocean child. The memory of you steering the ship through the storm feels closer now, almost within reach. Your steps feel lighter, as if your body remembers something your mind has forgotten. The violet gem in your pocket seems to pulse in time with your heartbeat. For the first time since arriving in this strange city, you have a direction. Whatever else you were, whatever else you are, you belong to the sea. And somewhere, beyond Memora's crystal spires, the sea is waiting for you to return. You come back up from the stairs and walk into the bright afternoon. The streets are full of people and sounds, but something feels different now. You're not just wandering. You have a feeling, like you know where you need to go. The little purple gem in your pocket feels warm and steady, like it's helping you remember. You stop near a food stall to rest for a moment. That's when someone speaks, soft and close, right beside you. You're carrying untapped wealth, whispers Mira, a thin girl with quick eyes who appears beside you at a food stall. She points to the faint glow visible through your pocket. Foreigner memories are rare here. Her small hand reaches for your gems, but stops. My sister needs medicine, expensive medicine. I can help you sell those properly, for more than others would offer. You hesitate, studying her desperate expression. Could you trust her? You recognize her now. She's the same girl who dropped the polishing cloths in the adventure arcade yesterday. Up close, you notice things you missed before. Her clothes are clean, but worn thin at the elbows. A small memory gem hangs from a string around her neck, but unlike the bright gems in the market, hers is dull gray, almost used up. Her fingernails are short and clean, with tiny cuts around the edges from handling memory gems all day. The food vendor watches you both with suspicious eyes. You step away from his stall, and Mira follows like a shadow. The morning crowd pushes around you, people hurrying to work with breakfast memory gems clutched in their hands. Someone bumps your shoulder, making you instinctively touch your pocket where your 3 remaining memory gems rest. The blue one with snow, the violet one with the ship, and the green one that formed last night, showing a forest you don't remember walking through. You've been in Memora for 10 days now, and hunger has become your constant companion. The fruit vendor no longer accepts your strange memories. He wants different ones, not the same scenes of oceans and mountains he can't identify. Your stomach rumbles loudly enough for Mira to hear. She leads you to a quiet corner near a fountain where water trickles over crystal steps. The splashing sound makes it hard for others to overhear. A small bird with blue feathers lands on the fountain's edge, dips its beak in the water, then flies away. You watch it disappear over the rooftops, wishing you could follow. Mira sits on the fountain's edge and motions for you to join her. The stone feels cool through your worn pants. You notice a small hole forming at your knee. Another reminder that you don't belong here, that you're wearing away bit by bit, just like your memories. You don't know how to use them properly, Mira says, nodding toward your pocket. Her voice is softer now, less urgent. Foreigner memories are valuable, but you need connections to sell them to the right people. You pull out the green gem, your newest one. It feels warm in your palm, like it remembers the sun filtering through the forest leaves it contains. When you hold it up to the light, tiny figures move inside. Perhaps you, perhaps someone else, walking between tall trees with birds singing overhead. Mira's eyes widen. She doesn't reach for it, but her fingers twitch like she wants to. That's not just a nature memory, she says. That's an elder forest. They don't exist in Memora anymore. You turn the gem slowly, watching how the light changes the scene inside. A forest you can't remember walking through. A place that doesn't exist here. More proof that you come from somewhere else, somewhere far away. My sister Lena, Mira continues, pulling something from her own pocket. It's a small drawing on wrinkled paper. A child's face with big eyes and a smile missing 2 front teeth. She's 7. She has dream sickness. You've heard of this during your days wandering the city. A disease where children's dreams leak out too fast, forming weak memory gems that crumble to dust by morning. Without dreams, the children fade away too, becoming quieter and paler until they simply stop waking up. Mira tucks the drawing away carefully, smoothing the paper with fingers that tremble slightly. The medicine comes from the top level of the memory tower. It costs 3 rare memories. She looks at your green gem again. One like that might be enough to trade for 1 dose, but she needs 3 doses to get better. Trust doesn't come easily when you have nothing. Every memory gem you trade away might contain the key to who you are, where you came from. Yet something about Mira's straight gaze, the way she didn't simply try to take your gems when she first saw them, makes you want to believe her. You put the green gem back in your pocket, next to the others. Mira's face falls, but she nods like she understands. She stands up, brushing dust from her dress, a gesture so small but full of dignity. "If you change your mind," she says, "I work at the polishing booth in the Adventure Arcade, 4th level." She starts to walk away, her shoulders small and square beneath her thin dress. "Wait," you call, surprising yourself. Your own voice sounds strange in your ears. You've barely spoken since arriving in this city of memory traders. Mira turns back, hope flickering across her face like light through leaves. You don't hand her the gems. Instead, you stand and gesture for her to lead the way. If she's telling the truth, you'll find out. If she's lying, well, you've lost everything else already. What's a few more memories? She takes you through narrow streets you haven't explored before. Unlike the grand avenues with their crystal spires, these paths wind between simple stone houses, stacked like blocks. Laundry hangs from windows, still damp in the morning air. So damp in the morning air. The smell of cooking onions and something like garlic drifts from open doors. Children chase each other with toy memory gems made from painted stones, playing at being merchants before they're old enough to form real memories worth trading. One little boy stops his game to stare at your foreign clothes. His shoe has a hole in the toe, his sock poking through like a curious animal. When you smile at him, he runs away, laughing. These are the memory-poor districts, where people trade everyday moments for everyday needs. No rare experiences here, no adventurers or artists or travelers from distant lands. Just ordinary days turned into small, dim gems that buy just enough to survive until tomorrow. Mira walks quickly, her feet sure on the uneven cobblestones. You follow, noting how people nod to her as she passes. She belongs here. You wonder what that feels like, to belong somewhere. The polishing booth sits at the edge of the Adventure Arcade, a small stall with shelves of cloths and oils for cleaning memory gems. An old woman sits on a stool, her fingers moving steadily as she polishes a red gem with a soft cloth. She doesn't look up when Mira approaches. "Grandmother," Mira says softly, "I brought someone who might help Lena." The old woman raises her head slowly. Her eyes are the same shape as Mira's, but clouded with age. She studies you for a long moment, taking in your foreign clothes, your tired face, the way you stand slightly apart, as if ready to run. "Show me," is all she says. You hesitate, then pull out the blue gem, the first one you found, the one with snow and mountains. It's the smallest of your three, the one you think you could most bear to lose. The old woman takes it with practiced hands. She doesn't use a cloth or oil. Instead, she holds it to her heart, closes her eyes, and breathes deeply. The gem glows brighter for a moment, pulsing with her heartbeat. When she opens her eyes, they're clearer, less clouded. "True memories," she says, "not crafted or polished, raw, powerful." She hands the gem back to you with gentle fingers. "Worth more than you know." Mira looks between you and her grandmother, hope making her stand straighter. "He has others," she says. "Enough for Lena's medicine. I told him we could help him sell them properly." The old woman nods slowly. "We can, but is that what he wants?" Both women look at you now, waiting. "What do you want? To remember who you are? To help a sick child? To find your way back to oceans and mountains and forests that don't exist in this crystal city?" The green forest gem feels heavy in your pocket. The violet ocean gem pulses gently next to it. The blue mountain gem sits cool in your palm. 3 memories you can't fully access. 3 possible keys to your past. 3 doses of medicine for a girl with dream sickness. "How will you help me?" you ask, your voice still strange to your own ears. "There are collectors," Mira explains quickly. "Rich people who want rare memories. They pay much more than market value, but they don't buy from strangers." You look at the hope in Mira's eyes, at the quiet dignity of her grandmother, still polishing gems for other people. You think of the little girl in the drawing, her smile missing 2 teeth, her dreams leaking away each night. "Take me to these collectors," you say finally. "But first, I want to meet your sister." Relief washes over Mira's face. It makes her look younger, almost like the girl in the drawing. She nods eagerly. "Thank you," she says. The words simple but filled with meaning. You put the blue gem back in your pocket with the others. You're not ready to sell any of them yet, but for the first time since arriving in this city of memories and forgetting, you have a purpose beyond simple survival. Whether it leads you back to your past or forward into something new, at least you're no longer standing still, alone in a crowd of memory traders who see you only as a foreigner with strange clothes and empty pockets. As you follow Mira through the winding streets toward her home, the memory gems in your pocket feel warmer, as if awakening to some new possibility. Perhaps in helping this girl and her sister, you might find something you didn't even know you were looking for. You sit beside a fountain in the trading square, your fingers tracing the worn stone edge polished by thousands of hands before yours. Water catches sunlight, breaking it into tiny rainbows that dance across your knuckles. A merchant's cart creaks past. Someone laughs nearby. The smell of spiced bread drifts from a nearby stall. Mira places a small crystal in your palm, no bigger than a thumbnail, smooth and cool against your skin. Her eyes tell you what to do without words. Hold it up to the light. Want to see what's inside. Your first attempt yields nothing, just sun through glass. You try again. The warmth spreads from the gem through your fingertips. The air above your palm shimmers. Colors swirl like ink in water. A mountain peak covered in snow appears, bathed in sunset orange and pink. Stars blink into existence in a deepening blue sky. You almost feel the thin mountain air filling your lungs, the cold biting your cheeks. Mira's quick breath pulls your attention away. Her eyes have grown wide, reflecting the floating image. She's never seen mountains like these. Her fingertips press against her lips, holding back words. The awe in her eyes tells you everything. The memory fades slowly, colors retreating back into the crystal. You stare at the small stone in your palm. How can something so ordinary hold something so vast? More importantly, where have you seen such mountains? Your mind offers no answer, just the familiar empty space where your past should be. Mira empties a small cloth pouch into her hand. 5 or 6 gems catch the light. She shows you how Memora values memories by intensity and rarity. A pale blue gem holds a rainstorm, worth maybe a loaf of bread. An amber crystal contains the feeling of jumping into a cool lake on a hot summer day. More valuable for the emotions attached. A tiny red gem catches your eye. She handles it differently from the others, with reverence. When she holds it up, you see 2 young girls running through tall grass, chasing butterflies with nets made from sticks and scraps of cloth. One is Mira, though younger. Her hair flies behind her like a flag. She hasn't yet learned to worry. The image shifts. The same girl, older now, lying in bed. Her face pale but smiling weakly. Lena. The fading sickness. 3 years of slow decline. The healers say she needs a special kind of memory to recover. One with enough life force to push back the fading. Such memories are incredibly rare. ... The reason for Mira's work becomes clear. She doesn't trade for herself. She trades for Lena, searching for something strong enough to save what matters most to her. The weight of her unspoken trust settles on your shoulders, heavier than any pack you've carried. An uncomfortable thought forms. Here you sit, troubled by memories you don't have, while she fights to save someone filled with memories worth keeping. Your fingers close around your crystal, a piece of your past you cannot place. Water bubbles beside you, constant and soothing. Droplets catch sunlight and scatter it in all directions. For a moment, the simple beauty of right now matters more than your empty past or her sister's uncertain future. You try another gem, this one darker, with swirls of green inside. You hold it up as before. A forest appears, thick with trees that reach toward a canopy so dense, barely any light filters through. Strange birds, with feathers brighter than market silk, flit between branches. Flowers glow from within, dotting the forest floor like fallen stars. Mira's eyes widen. You've never seen such a place, at least not in any memory you can reach. Yet here it is, pulled from some locked corner of your mind. People begin to notice. Eyes turn toward the fading images above your hands. Some expressions friendly, curious, others calculating, hungry. Memories this rare attract attention, not all of it welcome. Mira's hand on your arm is light but urgent. Her fingers help gather the remaining crystals, tucking them into an inner pocket of your jacket. The sun dips lower. Long shadows stretch across cobblestones. Mira gestures toward a different street. Tomorrow, the Memory Guild. They might help you understand where these came from. And Lena, something about your memories feels different to Mira, stronger somehow. The hope in her eyes makes your throat tight. As you walk through winding streets away from the fountain, the question follows you. What matters more? Discovering your empty past or helping secure Lena's uncertain future? Both possibilities weigh on you as the first stars appear above Memora's tiled rooftops. In your pocket, the crystals rest against your hip with each step. Small pieces of yourself you didn't know you carried until today. Your fingertips find the edge of one through the fabric, smooth, cool, waiting. Tomorrow will bring new discoveries. For tonight, it's enough to know you're not alone in your search for answers. In this moment, that feels like enough to build on. That night, you find a quiet place to rest. Just a small bench under a tree, where the wind smells like rain and dust. The stars above Memora feel closer than they should. You hold one of the gems in your hand until sleep comes. By morning, your mind is foggy, but your heart feels steady. You promised Mira you'd go to the guild, so today, that's where you'll start. You follow Mira through winding alleys to the upper ring, where wealthy memory collectors lived in crystalline towers. They entered an elegant showroom, where your mountain sunset memory sold for enough coins to buy proper clothes and meals. As a jeweler carefully extracted the gem's essence, you felt the sunset fade from your mind. Gone forever. The bag of coins feels heavy in your pocket as you walk away from the shiny tower. Each step makes the coins clink together. The sound reminds you of tiny bells, but not happy ones. These bells sound empty. Mira takes you to a clothing shop first. The sign above the door has a needle and thread painted on it. Inside, it smells like clean fabric and wood polish. A small woman with pins stuck in her sleeve measures your arms and legs with a yellow tape. Her fingers are quick and sure, like little birds hopping from branch to branch. You try on new clothes. The shirt doesn't have any holes. The pants reach all the way to your ankles without being too short. The shoes don't let water in when you step in a puddle. But when you look in the mirror, a stranger stares back. You touch your face to make sure it's still yours. After the clothes shop, Mira leads you to a place that sells hot food. The smell makes your stomach growl so loud a little boy at the next table giggles. You eat soup with chunks of something orange and soft floating in it. The spoon feels heavy and smooth against your tongue. The soup tastes like warmth itself. As you eat, you try to remember the mountain sunset. You know you had it once, You know it was beautiful, but the picture is gone from your head. Just like your name was gone when you woke up on the road to Memora. Just like your home is gone. Just like your family is gone. You touch the other memory gems in your pocket. They feel cool against your fingertips. Each one holds a piece of you that you can't remember until you look at it. And once you sell it, you'll never remember it again. The sun begins to set for real. Not like the sunset in your gem. That was big and orange and happened on a snowy mountain. This sunset is small and quick, slipping behind the crystal towers. The sky turns dark blue, then black. Lights appear in the windows of the towers. They shine like stars that fell down to live among people. The streets get quieter. The air gets cooler. Mira takes you to a small inn. The sign above the door has a pillow painted on it. Inside, it smells like soup and clean sheets. A round-faced woman with a birthmark shaped like a leaf on her chin gives you a key. The key is brass and heavy in your palm. Your room has a real bed with a blanket that feels soft like rabbit fur. The floor doesn't creak when you walk on it. The window closes all the way, keeping the night air outside where it belongs. You lie down on the bed. Your new clothes feel stiff and strange against your skin. You close your eyes and try to remember anything from before you woke up on the road to Memora. Nothing comes. Sleep finds you eventually. In your dreams, you stand on a mountain watching a sunset. But the colors keep changing. First orange, then blue, then green, then colors that don't have names. In your dream, you know these colors mean something important. If you could just understand them, you would remember everything. You wake up suddenly. The room is dark except for moonlight coming through the window. It makes a silver square on the floor. In that square stands a tall figure. Your heart jumps like a startled rabbit. You sit up fast. The figure doesn't move. "Who's there?" you ask, your voice scratchy from sleep. No answer comes. The figure stays still. You reach for the lamp beside your bed. Your fingers find the small wheel that makes the light come on. You turn it. Your heart still beats too fast. Your hands shake a little. You look around the room carefully. Under the bed, behind the small table, in the corner by the window, nothing. Maybe you were still dreaming. Maybe the moonlight played tricks on your eyes. You lie back down, but sleep stays away now. Through the wall, you hear Mira in the next room. She's talking to someone in a quiet voice. You can't make out the words, but she sounds worried. Morning comes slowly. Light creeps in around the edges of the window. Birds start to sing outside. A cart rolls by on the street below, its wheels making a wooden rumble on the cobblestones. You get dressed in your new clothes. They feel less stiff today. Your stomach growls, reminding you that soup was a long time ago. Downstairs, Mira waits at a small table. Her eyes have dark circles under them, like she didn't sleep much either. A plate with bread and cheese sits in front of her, but she hasn't touched it. Her fingers tap against the wooden table, counting out a nervous beat. When she sees you, she tries to smile, but the smile doesn't reach her eyes. Something is wrong. You sit across from her. The chair feels solid beneath you. The table has small knife marks all over it, tiny scars from years of people eating here. Mira slides a piece of paper across the table. On it is a drawing of a memory gem, but not like the ones in your pocket. This one has a strange symbol inside it. A circle with lines coming out of it like sun rays. "Someone's looking for this," she whispers. Her voice is so quiet, you have to lean forward to hear. "Someone dangerous." You touch your pocket, where your memory gems rest. None of them have a symbol like that. But something about it feels familiar, like a word on the tip of your tongue. Mira's fingers stop their tapping. She reaches across the table and touches your hand. Her skin feels cold. "There are people who collect special memories," she says. "Not just pretty ones like your sunset. Powerful ones. Memories that can do things." You think about the figure in your room last night. Was it real? Was someone looking through your memories while you slept? Outside, the morning grows brighter. People walk past the inn's windows, going about their day. A dog barks somewhere nearby. Normal sounds, normal day, but nothing feels normal anymore. The hollowness inside you has a new friend now: fear. It sits cold in your stomach, making the bread and cheese in front of you look impossible to eat. Mira folds the paper and tucks it away. "We need to see my sister today," she says. "And then we need to find out who you really are, before they do." You nod, not trusting your voice to work properly. The memory gems in your pocket seem heavier now. What secrets do they hold? What power? And who wants them badly enough to search for you in the night? The question follows you as you leave the inn and step into the morning light. How much of yourself will disappear before you discover who you are? And what will happen when you finally know? From a rooftop garden, you and Mira watched memory harvesters capturing moments throughout the city. Specialists attended births, celebrations, and even funerals, preserving emotions for trade. Most locals only produce common memories, Mira explained. But yours, they contain landscapes and experiences from beyond our continent. A memory of ocean waves had emerged while you slept, already crystallizing beside him. You lean against the stone wall of the rooftop garden. Small pink flowers grow in the cracks between stones. Their smell is sweet, like sugar stirred into tea. Your new clothes still feel stiff around the elbows and knees, not yet worn to match your shape. From up here, Memora spreads out like a picture in a storybook. The lower ring where poor people live makes a wide circle around the bottom of the hill. The middle ring wraps around higher up, where shopkeepers and crafters live. And the upper ring sits on top, with its crystal towers, catching sunlight and breaking it into colors. Mira hands you a small round fruit. It's yellow, with tiny green dots. When you bite into it, juice runs down your chin. It tastes sour, then sweet, like lemons mixed with honey. You wipe your chin with the back of your hand. Below, in a small square, people gather in a circle. In the middle stands a woman in a blue coat. On her head sits a helmet with tiny glass bottles attached to it. Tubes connect the bottles to a box she carries on her back. The box has dials and switches that glow with soft light. A young couple walks into the circle, The woman holds a baby wrapped in white cloth. The baby's face is red and scrunched up like a tiny fist. The crowd cheers and throws flower petals that float down like colorful snow. The woman in the blue coat raises her hands. The helmet on her head begins to hum. You can't hear it from the rooftop, but you can see how everyone gets quiet, how they all lean forward a little. The tubes on her helmet fill with light. Blue, purple, gold. The colors swirl through the tubes and collect in one of the glass bottles. The bottle glows so bright, it hurts your eyes to look directly at it. When the light fades, the woman holds up the bottle. Inside floats something small and shiny, a new memory gem. The crowd cheers again. The couple with the baby bow their heads as the woman in the blue coat gives them the gem. You touch your pocket where the ocean wave gem sits. It wasn't there when you went to sleep last night, but when you woke up, there it was on your pillow, blue-green with swirls of white inside. When you held it up to the morning light, it showed waves crashing against tall cliffs. You could almost taste the salt spray, feel the wind pushing against your face. No one used a helmet with bottles and tubes to make that gem. It just appeared, like all your memories do. You look at your hands. They look normal. Skin, fingers, fingernails that need cutting. Nothing special. But something inside you makes memory gems while you sleep. Something not normal at all. Mira points to another part of the city. There, in a different square, a different memory harvester works. This one wears a red coat. She stands beside an old man sitting in a wooden chair. His eyes are closed. His hands rest in his lap. The fingers curled like dry leaves. The harvester in the red coat touches the old man's shoulder. Her helmet starts to glow. This time, the light in the tubes is deep purple, almost black. The gem that forms is small and dark. When the harvester holds it up, no one cheers. The people watching bow their heads instead. You don't need to ask what kind of memory that is. You can tell from the quiet, from the bowed heads. That's a goodbye memory. Maybe the old man's last one. Something cold settles in your stomach. If you sold all your memory gems, would you disappear like the sunset did? Would you become an empty person with nothing inside? Or would new memories grow to replace the ones you sold? A bird lands on the wall beside you. It's small and gray, with a yellow beak. It looks at you with one shiny black eye, then flies away across the rooftops. You watch until it's just a tiny dot against the blue sky. Below, the city keeps moving. People walk through the streets, carrying bags and baskets. Children chase each other around a fountain. A dog follows a meat seller's cart, nose in the air, hoping for scraps. None of them know about the hollow feeling inside you. None of them know that when you try to remember your name, your home, your family, there's nothing there but emptiness. Mira touches your arm. She points to a tower near the edge of the upper ring. Unlike the other crystal towers, this one is made of dark stone. No rainbows come from its walls. No light shines from its windows. It stands like a shadow among colorful things. That's the Memory Guild, she tells you. The people who know all about memory gems. The people who might know why yours form without harvesters. The people who might know who you really are. Your heart beats faster at the thought. To know your name, to know where you came from, to fill the empty spaces inside you with real memories, instead of just the strange, disconnected gems that appear beside your pillow. But another thought makes your hands shake a little. What if you learn something you don't want to know? What if there's a reason you forgot everything? What if you're running from something? You close your eyes for a moment. Behind your eyelids, you see ocean waves again. Tall cliffs, birds with white wings soaring over deep blue water. Was that your home? Are there people there who miss you? Or are you running from that place? When you open your eyes, you notice something strange. All across the city, the memory harvesters have stopped working. They stand in their blue and red coats, looking up at the sky. You follow their gaze. High above Memora, a cloud moves against the wind. It's shaped like a hand with long fingers reaching down toward the city. As you watch, the cloud turns dark gray, then almost black. The air feels heavy, like right before rain falls. Mira's face changes. The smile drops away. Her eyes get big. She grabs your arm and pulls you toward the door that leads down from the rooftop. You resist for a moment, still watching the strange cloud. It continues to change shape, the fingers stretching longer, reaching for something. Reaching for the city, for you. A drop of rain hits your cheek. It feels cold, but also wrong somehow. When you wipe it away, your fingers come back tinted blue. Not water then, something else. Mira pulls harder on your arm. This time, you follow her through the door and down the narrow stairs. The stairwell is dark after the bright sunlight of the rooftop. Your eyes take a moment to adjust. By the time you reach the bottom of the stairs, you hear it. A sound like hundreds of tiny bells ringing all at once. The blue rain hitting the city. Each drop making its own small music. People run past the doorway, holding bags and coats over their heads. A woman scoops up her small dog and tucks it inside her jacket. A man rushes to close the wooden shutters on his shop windows. Mira leads you through side streets and narrow alleys, away from the open squares where the blue rain falls heaviest. Her hand holds yours tight, pulling you forward. Her palm feels sweaty against yours. You want to ask what's happening. Why everyone is afraid of blue rain. Why the cloud looked like a giant hand reaching down from the sky. But there's no time for questions now. There's only running, following, trying to keep up. The ocean wave gem bounces in your pocket with each step. Somehow, it feels warmer than before, almost hot against your leg through the cloth. Something is happening to it. Something connected to the blue rain and the strange cloud. Whatever makes your memories turn into gems while you sleep, it isn't just strange or unusual. It's important. Important enough that the sky itself seems to be looking for you. You don't stop running until Mira pulls you into a narrow doorway, both of you breathing hard. The sound of the rain fades behind thick stone walls. For a moment, everything is still. Then she points to a tall building with golden windows. The Memory Guild. They'll have answers, she says, her voice low. You nod, even though your heart is racing. You're not sure what you'll find inside, but you're ready to know more. The Memory Guild's archive revealed the truth. You weren't the first outsider whose memories formed perfect gems. Ancient texts described memory savants who appeared once a generation. Your amnesia is self-protection, explained the guild historian. Your mind creates gems naturally, but each one removes that memory permanently. You stared at remaining gems, possibly your only connection to past life. You sit on a wooden stool in the Memory Guild's archive room. The stool wobbles when you lean too far to one side. One leg is shorter than the others, and someone has stuffed a folded piece of paper under it to make it even. The paper has writing on it that you can't read. The archive smells like old books and dust and something sweet, like cinnamon. Around you, shelves reach up so high you have to tilt your head all the way back to see the top ones. Ladders with wheels lean against the shelves. Books with cracked leather covers line the walls. Some are so old, the titles have rubbed off. Your fingers touch the pouch of memory gems in your pocket. Through the cloth, they feel cool and hard, like smooth pebbles from a riverbed. Each one contains a piece of you that you can't remember until you look at it. And once you look, the memory starts to fade, ready to be sold. The guild historian sits across from you at a small table. She's old, with white hair braided in a crown around her head. Her hands have brown spots on them and blue veins that stick up like tiny rivers on a map. But her eyes are sharp and bright, the color of honey held up to sunlight. She pushes an open book toward you. The pages are yellow and crisp at the edges, like fallen leaves in autumn. On the left page is a drawing of a person with gems floating around their head. On the right page are words in a language you can't read. The historian's finger points to one word written larger than the others. Memory savant, that's what she called you. A person whose memories turn into gems without help from a harvester. Someone rare, special, one in a generation. Your stomach feels tight. You don't want to be special. You want to be normal. You want to remember your name, your home, your family. You want to fill the empty spaces inside you. Outside the high windows of the archive, rain falls. Not the strange blue rain from yesterday. Regular rain that smells like wet dirt and makes soft pattering sounds on the glass. The sky is gray, the color of a dove's wing. On the table sits a small machine. It looks like a jewelry box made of brass and copper, with dials on one side and a glass lid on top. Inside is a cushion of red velvet. The historian asks for one of your memory gems. Just to look at, she promises. Just to test something. ... You choose the smallest gem, green with swirls of brown inside. You haven't looked at this one yet. You don't know what memory it holds. But it feels less important than the others somehow. Lighter, less precious. When you place it on the red cushion, the historian closes the glass lid. She turns one of the dials. The machine begins to hum, so quiet you can barely hear it. A small light inside glows, getting brighter until the gem shines like a tiny green sun. Images appear above the box, floating in the air like colored smoke. A forest with trees so tall they block out the sky. A path made of flat stones. A wooden house with a red door. A woman hanging clothes on a line. Her back turned to you. Your heart beats faster. You lean forward on the wobbly stool. Is that your home? Is that woman your mother? Your sister? But before you can see her face, she starts to fade. The house gets blurry. The trees melt away like sugar in hot water. The gem stops glowing. The images disappear. The machine stops humming. When the historian opens the glass lid, the gem is clear as water. Empty. The memory is gone. A cold feeling spreads through your chest. You knew this would happen. It's the same as when you sold the sunset memory. But this time feels worse, because you weren't ready. You didn't choose to let this memory go. The historian's eyes look sad when she tells you the truth. Your mind makes these gems on its own to protect itself. Each important memory becomes a gem. Once the gem is made, the memory starts to leave your mind. If you look at the gem, you get to see the memory one last time before it's gone forever. Your amnesia, the big empty space where your past should be, isn't an accident or an injury. It's your own mind, making gems out of everything you used to know, everything you used to be. You look down at your hands. They look normal. Skin, fingers, fingernails that need cutting. But inside you, something works differently than other people. Your memories don't stay memories. They become things. Things that can be held and sold and lost. The historian shows you another book. This one has pictures of other memory savants from long ago. A girl with braids who could make gems from dreams. A man with one arm who made gems from music he heard. A pair of twins who made gems together, each holding half of the same memory. None of them could control it. None of them could stop their memories from turning into gems. None of them could keep their past from slipping away. Your remaining gems sit heavy in your pocket. The ocean waves, the strange birds, the colors without names, and others you haven't looked at yet, haven't lost yet. These gems are all that's left of whoever you used to be. If you want to know your name, your home, your story, you have to look at them. But if you look at them, the memories will fade away for good. The rain taps harder on the windows. The archive feels colder now. Dust motes float in the thin light, moving up and down like tiny dancers. Your hand closes around the pouch of gems. Which matters more, knowing who you were or keeping the last pieces of yourself safe? The historian opens another drawer in her desk. Inside lies a gem bigger than any you've seen before. It's the color of honey, like her eyes, but with flecks of gold inside that catch the light and throw it back at you. This gem doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the Memory Guild. It contains the oldest memory they have, the founding of Memora, hundreds of years ago. The historian places it on the red cushion inside the machine. She turns the dial again. The gem begins to glow. Above the box, images form. A valley empty of buildings. People arriving with carts and bags. The first stones being laid for the first houses. A crowd gathering around a fountain, the same fountain where you and Mira sat just days ago. As you watch, you notice something strange. At the edge of the crowd, stands a figure that looks familiar. Tall and thin, wearing clothes like yours, not like the others. The figure turns, and you catch a glimpse of their face. Your face. Your heart stops for a second. How can you be in this memory from hundreds of years ago? It's not possible. It doesn't make sense. Before you can look closer, the image fades. The gem stops glowing. The machine stops humming. But this time, when the historian opens the glass lid, the gem isn't clear. It still shines honey gold with flecks of light. This memory didn't fade because it isn't yours. The historian's face looks serious now. Memory savants are rare, she says. But someone who appears in memories from different times? That has never happened before. You're not just special. You're something else entirely. Something the Memory Guild has never seen before. Outside, the rain stops. A beam of sunlight breaks through the clouds, making a bright square on the archive floor. Dust motes dance more quickly in the sudden warmth. You stand up from the wobbly stool. The gems in your pocket click together softly, like they're whispering secrets to each other. Secrets about you. You don't know how long you stand there, holding the gems, feeling them shift gently in your pocket. But you know what you need to do. Someone else needs help more than you need answers right now. And maybe, by helping her, you'll start to understand yourself too. You take a deep breath and follow the path back through Memora's purple streets, back to Mira, and the choice that's waiting. Twilight painted Memora's spires purple as you placed the most brilliant memory gem, something involving mountains and someone he once loved, into Mira's small hands. "This will pay for your sister's complete treatment," he said quietly. Mira's eyes welled with tears as she described the hospital's crystal dome, where healers would use memory energy to repair her sister's failing heart. You felt an unfamiliar warmth replace the emptiness inside him. You watch as Mira's fingers close around the gem. It glows softly between her knuckles, casting tiny rainbows across her tear-streaked face. The gem feels warm against your palm as you pass it to her, warmer than any of the others you've handled before. This one matters more. "Thank you," Mira whispers. Her voice is small like a mouse, but strong like a river. The words hang in the evening air between you. The city of Memora stretches out below the Memory Guild's balcony. Lamplighters move from post to post, touching their golden wands to crystal lamps. With each touch, blue light blooms in the darkness. The smell of cinnamon bread drifts up from the baker's chimney 3 buildings over. Somewhere, a bell rings 7 times. You look down at your satchel. 5 gems remain where once there were dozens. Each one is a piece of yourself, your history, your identity. The historian's words echo in your mind. Each gem removes that memory permanently. You've been trading away pieces of yourself without even knowing what they contained. But this time feels different. Mira tucks the gem into a small velvet pouch embroidered with silver stars. Her hands shake slightly as she pulls the drawstring tight. "My sister has been sick since winter," she says. "The doctors say her heart is forgetting how to beat properly." You nod, remembering the hospital, with its crystal dome that captures sunlight and moonlight, both. You visited yesterday, watching healers in white robes channel memory energy into medicine. They explained how memories could power healing, especially powerful memories filled with love. Will you come with me? Mira asks. To the hospital? I think she would want to thank the person who saved her. The night air grows cooler as you walk beside Mira through Memora's winding streets. Your boots click against cobblestones, worn smooth by thousands of footsteps before yours. Shop owners are closing up for the night, pulling down metal shutters that groan against old hinges. A cat watches you from a windowsill, its eyes reflecting the blue lamplight. You feel lighter with each step. The emptiness inside you that has ached since you woke up without memories now feels different. Not filled exactly, but changed. Like an empty cup that has a purpose. The hospital rises before you, a round building of white stone with the famous crystal dome on top. Even at night, the dome glows faintly, capturing starlight and moonbeams. Two massive wooden doors stand open, and the smell of clean linen and herbal tea greets you as you enter. Inside, the main hall stretches high above. Plants with heart-shaped leaves hang from balconies. A fountain in the center bubbles softly, the water glowing blue with the same energy as the street lamps. Healers in white robes move quietly from room to room, carrying trays of medicine and whispering to each other. Mira leads you up a curving staircase to the third floor. The wooden steps creak under your weight. Her hand brushes the railing, where countless other worried visitors have worn the wood smooth and dark. She's in here, Mira says, stopping outside a door painted light blue. A paper name card reads, Lily, in careful handwriting. The room is small but warm. A window looks out at the night sky, and star patterns are painted on the ceiling. In the bed lies a girl smaller than Mira, with the same dark hair but much paler skin. Her chest rises and falls unevenly. Beside the bed, a machine made of brass and crystal ticks erratically, matching her heartbeat. Lily, Mira whispers, I brought the memory gem, and this is you. He's the one who gave it to us. Lily's eyes open slowly. They're the same deep brown as her sister's, but clouded with tiredness. Hello, she says, her voice barely there, like autumn leaves skittering across stone. A healer enters behind you. Her hair is gray and tied in a knot at the back of her head. Glasses hang from a chain around her neck. You've brought it? She asks Mira. Mira holds out the velvet pouch. The healer takes it gently and unties the drawstring. When she sees the gem inside, she gasps softly. This is extraordinary, she says. I've never seen one with such clarity. She looks at you with new interest. You are the memory savant we've heard about? You nod, unsure what to say. The word savant feels wrong on your skin. This will more than cover Lily's treatment, the healer says. This could help many patients. You watch as she carefully places the gem into a silver device beside Lily's bed. It fits perfectly in a small hollow. When she turns a brass key, the gem begins to spin slowly. Light spills from it, not just the usual white glow, but colors. Green, like forest leaves. Blue, like deep water, gold like sunset. The light spreads through tubes that connect to the ticker near Lily's heart. Almost immediately, the machine's ticking steadies. Lily takes a deeper breath. A small smile touches her lips. "It's working," the healer says, sounding surprised at how quickly. The memory in this gem must be very powerful indeed. You try to remember what was in that gem. Mountains? Someone you loved? The details are gone forever, but the feeling remains. A ghost of emotion that warms you from inside. As the treatment continues, Lily's color improves. Mira sits beside her, holding her hand and telling her about her day, about the city, about nothing important, just sister things. You listen and watch as night deepens outside the window. Later, when Lily has fallen asleep with steady breaths and pink cheeks, you and Mira step out into the hallway. The healer says she'll make a full recovery, Mira says. Her voice shakes with relief. "Because of your gem." You nod, feeling that strange warmth again. "I'm glad. But your memory?" Mira looks at you with concern. "That was important, wasn't it? Something about mountains and someone you loved." You touch the space over your heart. "Yes, but I still feel it here, somehow. And seeing your sister getting better, that's a new memory I can keep." As you walk back through the sleeping city, the emptiness inside you has changed shape. Where before there was only hunger to know who you were, now there's something new growing. You might not remember your past, but you can build a future. You can help others with your strange gift. Back at the Memory Guild, the historian waits for you in the archive room. Books and scrolls lie open on his desk. His magnifying glass reflects the candlelight as he studies an ancient text. "You gave away your most powerful memory gem," he says without looking up. It's not a question. "Yes," you answer. Now he does look up, his eyes bright behind his spectacles. "And how do you feel?" You consider this as you take a seat across from him. The chair is old wood, polished by years of scholars sitting just where you sit now. "Less empty," you finally say. The historian smiles. The texts speak of this too. The memory savants of old discovered something important. Sometimes giving away a memory creates something new in its place. He pushes a very old book toward you. On the yellowed page is a drawing of a person with light streaming from their hands into the heart of another. Around them, a city much like Memora stands in sunshine. "They found purpose," the historian says quietly. "Perhaps that is worth more than remembering who they were before." You touch your remaining gems through the fabric of your satchel. Each one represents a piece of your past, but each one could also help someone in need. The choice seems clearer now, as if the fog in your mind has begun to lift. Outside, the first light of dawn touches Memora's spires with gold. A new day begins, and with it, a new memory takes shape, one that no one can take away. Morning dew sparkled on leaves as you shouldered your backpack outside the city gates. Though most of your memories were now sold, you'd kept one small gem, containing an image of your childhood home's front door. Mira stood nearby with her healthy sister, both wearing necklaces with tiny fragments of your memories. "You could stay," Mira suggested. You smiled, touching the last gem in your pocket. "I need to find my door," you replied, stepping onto the road, leading beyond Memora's borders. You take your first steps away from the city walls. The cobblestones of Memora end abruptly, becoming a dirt path that feels softer under your boots. Behind you, the city's white towers grow smaller with each step. The morning air smells of wet grass and wildflowers. Mira and Lily wave until they become tiny dots against the great stone gate. You wave back one last time before rounding a bend in the road. The weight of your nearly empty backpack feels strange against your shoulders. For weeks, it had been heavy with memory gems. Now it holds only a water flask, a small loaf of bread wrapped in cloth, and a hand-drawn map the guild historian gave you. Your fingers find the last memory gem in your pocket. It's smaller than the others, no bigger than a cherry pit. When you hold it up to the sunlight, you can see a wooden door inside it, painted blue with a brass knocker, shaped like a lion's head. You don't remember what lies behind this door, but you know it matters. The path winds through fields of tall grass dotted with red and yellow flowers. Bees buzz lazily around your head, then return to their work. The sun warms the back of your neck as you walk. In the distance, mountains rise like sleeping giants. Are those the same mountains from your most precious memory? The one you gave to heal Lily's heart? You can't remember anymore. By midday, your stomach growls like an angry cat. You sit beneath an oak tree with branches that spread wide like open arms. The bread tastes sweet with a crunchy crust. Crumbs fall onto your shirt, and you brush them away for the ants to find. A small brown bird watches you from a low branch, head tilted as if asking a question. The road stretches ahead, empty, except for the occasional fallen leaf. No one has traveled this way in some time. According to the historian's map, there should be a village by nightfall, a place called Whisper's Edge. You wonder if anyone there might recognize the door in your gem. As afternoon turns the shadows long and thin, clouds gather overhead. The air grows heavy with the promise of rain. You quicken your pace, hoping to reach Whisper's Edge before the storm breaks. The first drops hit your face just as wooden houses appear in the distance. Whisper's Edge is nothing like Memora. Instead of tall white towers, simple wooden buildings huddle together like old friends sharing secrets. Smoke curls from stone chimneys. The smell of cooking stew makes your empty stomach twist. Windows glow yellow against the darkening sky. Rain patters on your shoulders as you approach the village square. A wooden sign swings from a post, showing a painted mug of something hot. The 3 candles in. Your boots squelch in the mud as you make your way to the door. Inside, warmth wraps around you like a blanket. A fire crackles in a stone fireplace big enough to stand in. People sit at wooden tables, eating from clay bowls and talking in low voices. They fall quiet when you enter, eyes turning to study you. Outsiders must be rare here. An old woman with hair the color of clouds approaches. Lines map her face like roads on the historian's parchment. Her eyes, though, are bright and sharp as she looks you up and down. "Caught in the rain, are you?" she asks, voice rough like tree bark. "Come sit by the fire." She leads you to a small table near the warmth. Your wet clothes steam slightly as you settle onto a wooden stool worn smooth by years of travelers. The old woman brings you a bowl of stew that smells of carrots and herbs. It tastes better than anything you've eaten since waking up without memories in Memora. As you eat, you notice a man watching from the corner. His cloak is dark, the hood pulled low over his face. Something about the way he sits, perfectly still, like a hunting cat, makes your skin prickle. When your eyes meet his, he doesn't look away. The old woman notices your unease. She leans close, her voice dropping to a whisper. "That's Thorn. He collects things, rare things. Been asking questions about memory gems from Memora. Best avoid him." Your hand moves to your pocket, feeling the small lump of your last ghee. The food in your mouth suddenly tastes like dust. Later, the old woman shows you to a tiny room under the eaves. The ceiling slopes so low, you must duck your head. A narrow bed with a patchwork quilt takes up most of the space. Rain drums against a small window, like impatient fingers. You place your gem on the wooden nightstand and watch as its soft glow fills the room. The blue door seems to float inside it, almost real enough to touch. You trace its outline with your fingertip. The surface of the gem feels cool and smooth, like river stone. Sleep comes slowly that night. Dreams flicker behind your eyelids. Fragments of places you might have known, faces without names. You wake several times, reaching for the gem to make sure it's still there. Morning brings pale sunshine and the smell of fresh bread. You tuck the gem safely in your inner pocket before heading downstairs. The common room is nearly empty now. No sign of the man called Thorn. As you step outside, the village looks different in the light. Gardens grow between houses, full of vegetables and herbs. Children chase chickens through muddy puddles left by last night's rain. An old man mends a fishing net outside his door, his fingers moving quickly despite their knobbled joints. You ask about the door in your gem, showing it to those who seem friendly. They shake their heads, though some lean close to admire the craftsmanship. No one recognizes the blue door with its lion knocker. As the day grows warmer, you walk to the edge of the village. A woman washing clothes in a stream tells you of another settlement 3 days' journey east. Perhaps someone there might know your door. Returning to gather your few belongings, you find the door to your room ajar. Ice spreads through your chest. You push the door open slowly, already knowing what you'll find. The nightstand is empty. Your gem is gone. Footprints in the mud lead away from the inn toward the forest that borders Whisper's Edge. You follow them, anger and fear mixing in your stomach like oil and water. Without that gem, you have nothing left of yourself, not even the hope of finding home. The forest welcomes you with green shadows and the smell of wet earth. Sunlight breaks through leaves in bright patches. Birds call warnings to each other as you pass. The footprints grow fainter on the forest floor. But you keep following. By afternoon, you find him sitting on a fallen log in a small clearing. Thorn's hood is pushed back now, revealing a face mapped with scars. Your gem sits in his open palm, glowing faintly. "I've been waiting for you," he says, voice soft as falling leaves. "The Memory Guild has been looking for someone like you for years." "I've already been to the Memory Guild," you reply. "They helped me understand what I am." Thorn laughs, a sound like breaking glass. "They told you half-truths. Memory savants aren't born, they're made. And this door, it's not your childhood home." He holds up the gem, and in the forest light, you see something you missed before. Tiny symbols carved around the door's frame. They look like the ancient writing in the guild's oldest books. "This door leads between worlds," Thorn explains. "You came through it once. That's why your memories form gems, because you're not from this world at all." The forest seems to hold its breath around you. A squirrel watches from a tree branch, paws held against its chest. Somewhere far away, a crow calls 3 times. You reach out your hand. After a moment's hesitation, Thorn places the gem in your palm. It feels warmer now, almost alive against your skin. "What will you do?" he asks. You close your fingers around the gem, feeling its edges press into your palm. The road stretches ahead, beyond the forest, beyond Whisper's edge, all the way to the mountains on the horizon. Somewhere out there, a blue door with a lion's head knocker waits for you. "I need to find my door," you say again, this time understanding what it truly means.